cowboy had not planned to stop at the waterfall, but the desert has its own will, and when the sun burned low and the horses grew tired, he followed the sound of falling water like a prayer echoing through stone. A silver curtain, pouring down from a cliff hidden between red rocks and ancient trees, and as he dismounted, dust still clinging to his boots and his coat heavy with the road, he felt as if he had stepped not into a place but into a moment that did not belong to his time, because the air was colder here, alive with mist, and the water shimmered like moving glass. And that was when he heard it, a voice, soft but urgent, carried through the thunder of the falls, saying, "Cowboy, don't look," and he froze, heart tightening, unsure if the mountain itself was speaking. And then she stepped partly into view from behind the veil of water, an Apache woman with dark braided hair adorned with small feathers, her face calm but her eyes filled with warning and dignity, standing chest-deep in the pool where the waterfall struck, mist clinging to her skin like breath, and she turned her head away as if protecting a boundary older than words, and said again, quieter now, "My dress is gone, but my honor is not." And something in her voice was not shame, not fear, but strength wrapped in vulnerability, and the cowboy, raised on rough roads and rougher men, did the one thing he had rarely done in his life. He turned his back without argument, without question, staring instead at the rocks, the sky, anywhere but her, and in that simple act something shifted between them, a trust formed not by promises but by restraint. And as the waterfall roared behind him, and the wind stirred the trees, she told him her story through the sound of water, how her people once lived in these lands, before fences and flags carved them into pieces, how the waterfall was sacred, a place where women came to speak with the spirits of their mothers, how she had come here seeking guidance, because her world was changing, faster than her heart could follow, and he listened not as a cowboy or a stranger, but as a witness, and he told her nothing of his own past except that he had been riding too long without knowing why, chasing work, chasing gold, chasing silence, and somehow finding none of it. And when she finished speaking, the mist grew thicker and the light dimmed into golden blue, and he realized he did not want to leave yet, not because of her beauty, not because of curiosity, but because in that place, in that strange meeting, he felt more human than he had in years. And before she slipped fully back behind the waterfall, she said, "Not all men can turn away." And he answered, "Not all moments. Ask you to look." And the water closed between them like a curtain falling on a stage, leaving him alone with the echo of her voice and a feeling that this story had only just begun. And if you're listening now, feel that pull too, that sense that something meaningful is unfolding. Don't let it pass you by. Subscribe and stay, because some stories are not meant to be heard only once. He returned the next day, and the day after that, not always seeing her, sometimes only leaving offerings, a small cloth, a carved piece of wood, a canteen of fresh water, and slowly the place became not just a stop but a meeting of worlds. And when she appeared again, it was never with urgency, never with fear, but with calm presence, sitting on a rock beside the pool, wrapped in a simple shawl, her gaze steady, her voice carrying stories of her ancestors, of women who guided warriors, of songs sung to heal grief, and he shared stories too, of cattle drives under endless skies, of men who chased money until it chased them back, of loneliness disguised as freedom. And they discovered that though their worlds were different, their questions were the same. Where do we belong? Who do we become when the old paths disappear? And can respect grow into something deeper without destroying what it touches? And slowly something did grow. Not desire, not possession, but a connection built from listening, from turning away when asked, from staying when invited. And one evening, as the sun melted into the horizon and the water reflected fire and sky together, she told him that the spirits had answered her, that they said change is not an enemy if you walk into it with your eyes open and your heart clean. And he realized that the same message had been waiting for him all along, hidden behind miles of dust and noise, and that maybe he did not need to ride forever. Maybe he needed to choose. And when he told her this, she smiled, not as a woman seeking romance, but as a guide seeing a traveler finally understand the road. And she said, "Then remember this place, and remember what you became here." And he promised he would, not as a vow to her, but as a vow to himself. And when he finally rode away, the land felt different beneath his horse's hooves, as if it recognized him now. And he carried no gold, no prize, no conquest, only a story that reshaped him, a whisper behind a waterfall that taught him the power of restraint, the strength of listening, and the beauty of honoring boundaries. And if this story moved you, if it made you feel something deeper than entertainment, then walk with us into more worlds like this. Subscribe. Stay curious and let stories remind you who you are.